Not all heartbreaks come from lovers. Sometimes, the deepest wounds we get are inflicted by those we call our friends. This is the story of Jenna and Chrissy, the story of two friends whose lives would change forever. Jenna and Chrissy had been inseparable since their first year at university. Their friendship had been solid, until it wasn't. They lived together in a cramped campus hostel, sharing everything from late-night snacks to class notes. Jenna was the quiet one. She loved to sketch in her journal, losing herself in the world of art. Chrissy, on the other hand, was the social butterfly, the life of every party. She was always surrounded by friends who loved to have a good time and party. Both girls were beautiful in their unique way. At first glance, Chrissy seemed to have it all: the looks, the charisma, the magnetic pull that drew people to her. But there was something about Jenna's calm, authentic energy that captivated everyone in a way Chrissy could never understand. And that stung. Though Chrissy flashed her brightest smiles deep inside, she felt a sharp pang of jealousy. She wished she could create art like Jenna. She wished she had Jenna's quiet confidence. But Chrissy hid her envy well, so well that even Jenna couldn't see that their friendship would form a bigger crack in the days to come. Everything was okay, until Tony came along. Tony was that guy, tall, with smooth brown skin, a neatly groomed beard, and short, stylishly trimmed hair. He carried himself with a quiet charm that was impossible to ignore. He wasn't the loud, flashy type. He didn't have to be. His effortless confidence made him magnetic. Jenna and Chrissy noticed him right away. Late at night, they'd sit up in their tiny room, giggling like schoolgirls as they talked about him. Imagine him walking in here right now, getting on one knee and saying, "Chrissy, you're the woman of my dreams." Good God! Chrissy sighed dreamily. One night, flipping her braids dramatically, Jenna laughed but stayed quiet. She thought Tony was special, different, but in her heart she didn't believe someone like him would ever notice her. And then, he did. It happened one morning before class. Jenna came early so she could complete a drawing she had been working on. She had no idea she would find Tony in the same class as her. He was early that day too. Tony noticed her sketches as he walked past her in the school garden. His hand froze as he picked up a page. A breathtaking sketch of a sunset over a sprawling cityscape. "Did you draw this?" he asked, his deep voice laced with admiration. Jenna nodded shyly, her cheeks burning as she tucked a loose curl behind her ear. "This is incredible," Tony said, holding up the sketch like it was a priceless treasure. "You've got real talent." Jenna barely managed to stammer a thank you. But then, they started talking. Just a few words at first, but the conversation stretched on. And by the time the lecturer arrived, Tony had her number saved in his phone and promised to call her later. Jenna was surprised and excited. She couldn't wait to tell Chrissy. That evening, she bounced into their room with a huge smile. "Chrissy, you won't believe what happened today," she said excitedly, her eyes lighting up. "Tony asked for my number." Chrissy froze for a moment, her fingers pausing mid-scroll on her phone. She forced a smile. "Wow, Jenna, that is unexpected," she said, laughing awkwardly. Jenna didn't notice Chrissy's tone, but Chrissy couldn't stop the bitterness bubbling inside her. Why Jenna? Again, she thought. Chrissy put on an act of excitement, pretending to be happy for Jenna, but the truth was she hated seeing Jenna get all the attention. One evening, as Jenna excitedly shared about the casual dinner date she'd gone on with Tony, Chrissy's jealousy flared up. "He took you to the school's eatery of all places. That's basic, Jenna," Chrissy yelled and then rolled her eyes. "Someone like Tony should have taken you to a fancy restaurant. It's just a sign he's not serious." Jenna thought there was no big deal with the school's eatery. Besides, she had a great time. And so she tried not to let Chrissy's words affect her. But as Tony and Jenna grew closer, Chrissy's envy only deepened. He started visiting their room, and one day, she overheard Tony telling Jenna that he loved the way she saw the world in such a unique way. Jenna blushed. Chrissy, however, saw none of this as sweet. She saw it as a betrayal. Jenna had everything: her talent, her calm confidence, and now Tony. And then Chrissy decided she'd had enough. One night, while Jenna slept, Chrissy unlocked her phone. She knew Jenna's password. It was her birthday. Chrissy scrolled through Jenna's messages, screenshots of her, and even old diary entries Jenna had saved to her notes app. Chrissy smirked as she read her diary. Jenna had poured her heart out about her fears, her insecurities, and even her doubts about whether really Tony liked her. So, the next day, Chrissy created a fake Instagram page. Using the anonymous account, she became a troll to Jenna. She made statements about her insecurities, her fears, past relationships, mistakes, and family challenges. She even posted Jenna's private writings online. When Jenna saw this, her heart sank. She thought her phone had been hacked. The cruelty of the words made her feel small and insignificant. And what's more, everyone had seen her private messages online. She stayed in her room, too ashamed to leave. Messages flooded her phone, friends reaching out, some offering support, but others laughing and mocking her. Jenna didn't know what to do. Tony called her, but she didn't answer. She couldn't. Later that day, Tony showed up at her door looking worried. He had seen the posts. And when Jenna opened up to him about what had happened, he assured her that none of it would change how he felt about her. The troll continued to post negative comments of her for weeks. Tony was there for her and offered his support. And guess who was there as well? Chrissy. Chrissy was extra supportive, soothed her with warm words, and made her feel seen. So it was impossible that in her wildest imagination, Jenna would think Chrissy would be her troll. Until one day. Chrissy had forgotten her laptop at home. Jenna found it and wanted to use it to view a new Instagram account she created. That was when she saw a strange account. It was the same username as her troll, the same display picture. She opened it and felt goosebumps all over her body. Alas, Jenna's troll was her best friend. She cried uncontrollably and left the house. Later that evening, when she arrived home, Jenna confronted Chrissy. She showed her the Instagram posts and asked her how she could betray her like that. Chrissy tried to lie, but eventually her guilt broke through. "I am sorry, Jenna," she cried. Jenna stood still, hurt and angry. "You are sorry? Chrissy, for God's sake, you have everything. And my God, I can't believe you would put my flaws and imperfections out there for the world to see because of a boy," Jenna screamed. Chrissy sank to the floor, her braids falling over her face as she sobbed uncontrollably. She couldn't even look Jenna in the eye. "You don't get it, Jenna," she cried. "You always mattered more. You have it all." Her voice broke, trembling under the weight of her guilt. "I just wanted to feel like I was enough for once. And when you and Tony got close, it felt like the whole world was picking you over me." "I acted out of jealousy," Chrissy cried. Her words hung heavy in the air, her sobs filling the silence between them. "I hate myself for this, Jenna. I hate what I did. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm so sorry." Jenna stood frozen, her hands trembling as tears rolled down her cheeks. She wanted to scream, to yell, to lash out at Chrissy, but the weight of her heartbreak silenced her. Her greatest fear wasn't just the betrayal, it was that the one person she had trusted most in the world had deliberately torn her apart. Chrissy sobbed uncontrollably and apologized to Jenna, but Jenna couldn't look at her. The hurt was too much, so Jenna had to leave the room. This was her greatest heartbreak. In the months that followed, Jenna found solace in her art. She forgave Chrissy, but their relationship could never be the same after everything that happened. It caused her pain. So, she poured her pain into her drawings, each stroke of the pencil a reflection of her healing. She started a new art project that would later be featured in a local gallery. Tony stood by her side, his affection for Jenna growing stronger as he saw her strength. As for Chrissy, the truth about her actions spread, and she found herself alone. Realizing the depth of her jealousy, Chrissy started going to therapy to work through her issues. But her friendship with Jenna was gone, and it was clear that some wounds couldn't be healed. Jenna walked away, stronger and more self-assured than ever. She knew that she was worthy of love and friendship, and that no one could ever take that away from her.
Thank you for listening to this real-life story. If it resonated with you and you'd love to hear more, don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story.